Alright, welcome back 7th grade students. We have one more lesson on probability that we'll get to today. It'll be lesson J. It'll be the second lesson of this week, and we'll go ahead and get started with it. Alright, lesson J, compound event outcomes and probability. Compound events occur when more than one probability event takes place. They can have many possible outcomes. So we've been dealing with one situation at a time. Now you'll see on today's lesson that we'll be dealing with multiple situations at once. All right, the first group of problems deals with how many outcomes there could be out of these situations. So on number 1, you can pick from one of 4 different colored cards and you roll a 6-sided die. How many outcomes are there? Well, there's 4 possibilities on the cards and 6 possibilities on the die, so 4 times 6 gives you 24 possible outcomes. Number 2, you have 5 sections on a spinner and you flip a coin. How many outcomes are there? Well, there are 5 possibilities on the spinner and 2 possibilities on the coin, so 5 times 2 gives you 10 outcomes. So now, for example, that's a smaller number to work with, so you could think of this. You could spin like a 1 on the spinner and then get heads. 2 on the spinner, get heads. 3 on the spinner, get heads. 4 on the spinner, get heads. 5 on the spinner, get heads. Then you can also get 1 on the spinner, get tails. 2 on the spinner, tails. 3 on the spinner, tails. 4 on the spinner, tails. 5 on the spinner, tails. That's how we get our 10. If we were in class, we could have like a big nice diagrams that explain how to do these and stuff, but for right now, this is what we'll do. We'll just tell you how many outcomes will be in this group. All right, one more here. You flip a coin and spin a 4-section spinner and pick from 3 different colored cards. How many outcomes are there? Now, there are 3 events here, so we'll have to be careful. We got 2 possibilities on the coin, there's 4 possibilities on the spinner, and we got 3 possibilities of the cards. So 2 times 4 times 3 gives you 24 total outcomes. So it doesn't matter if it's 3 or 4 or 5 different situations, we'd multiply all the possible outcomes together to get the total amount of outcomes. All right, next up, you can also calculate the probability of a compound event occurring. Find the probability of each individual event happening, then multiply the probabilities. All right, so we're shifting from outcomes to actual probabilities. So on number 4, it says you have a bag with 3 purple marbles and 8 yellow marbles. Then you flip a coin. What's the probability of selecting a purple marble and getting tails on the coin? Well, the probability of getting purple is 3 out of 11. 3 are purple out of 11 total marbles. 3 plus 8 gave us our 11. And probability of getting tails is 1 out of 2. So multiply your 2 answers and you get 3 out of 22. Number 5, you spin a spinner, number 1 through 4, and you roll a 6-sided die. What's the probability of spinning a 3 and getting an even number on the die? Well, the probability of getting a 3 on that particular spinner is 1 out of 4, because 3 only happens once if it's number 1, 2, 3, 4. And probability of getting even on the die is 3 out of 6, because on dice, 2, 4, and a 6 would be considered even numbers. So we multiply our 2 answers, and we get 3 out of 24. Now, once again, you could go lowest terms with some of these, but I don't think IXL is making you go lowest terms, so just leave them as you get them. All right, and number 6, you flip a coin and spin a spinner number 1 through 8. What's the probability of getting heads on the coin and 9 on the spinner? Well, probability of getting heads on the coin is 1 out of 2. Probability of getting 9 on the spinner is 0 out of 8. So you multiply and you get 0 out of 16, or just 0. It can't happen because there's no 9 on the spinner, because it's only numbered 1 through 8. All right, so those are our examples for today. Hopefully those are something that was helpful to you. And I'll show you some sample problems on the next page here, then give you the answer key at the bottom, and hopefully it makes sense to you. All right, remember you can pause the video anytime as you're working through these, and you can check your answers at the end. So there's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and here's our answers. Number 1 was 30, 2 was 12, 3 was 40, number 4 was 1 out of 4, Number 5, 4 out of 28. And number 6, 3 out of 60. And these came from IXL DD7 and DD9. All right, thank you and have a good day.